All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Ansible Fest. My name is Jason Hibbets. I'm going to be the moderator for this amazing panel, Tales from the Field, a day in the life of a sysadmin. We've got some great panelists here for you. We've got a lot of information to cover today. This basically started in July of this year. Red Hat released a new ebook for system administrators, and we wanted to try to bring that to life. So we've got some of the authors here, and we've also got one of our Red Hat accelerators here to tell you a little bit more about IT automation, and we're going to get right into it. So I love to do lightning things. So we're going to start with lightning introductions, and really just ask the panelists, tell us your name, where you're located in the world, and just briefly tell us about your day job. And Ricardo, we're going to start with you.
Hey, thanks. Hi, everybody. I'm excited to be here. My name is Ricardo Girardi. I'm based in Toronto, Canada, and I work as a senior consultant for Red Hat Canada, where I help our customers with their IT automation journey.
Hello, my name is Jörg Kastning. Thank you for having me here. I'm located in Germany, working for the Bielefeld University, and in my day job, I deal with virtualization, Linux infrastructure, and automation. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me here. My name is Kedar Kulkarni. I also go by KK. I am in Raleigh, North Carolina, where Red Hat headquarters is. And I've been with Red Hat for about 5 years now. And I've been mostly focusing on OpenShift network performance and scalability at my job recently.
Hello everyone, Joseph Tejal here. I'm a Red Hat Technical Account Manager based in Wellington, New Zealand. Good to be here.
All right, thanks everyone. As you can see, we've got a kind of a global panel here, so it was really fun playing with time zones to get this to make this panel happen. I'm really excited about this panel, so we're going to start off with excitement. What excites you the most about IT automation? And York, we'll start with you.
I'm most excited that automation helps me to do every recurring task in exactly the same way. No errors because you forget something and you have your documentation in code, not writing code and writing a paper that gets old. It's keeping it together. It's the most exciting thing.
Thanks. So I think that's a great answer. And for me, I think the most exciting part about automation is that I feel more empowered. I feel automation is empowering me and my team alike, because with automation, we are able to get rid of some of the mundane tasks by just automating them out of our ways and be able to focus on newer stuff. So it is empowering. It gives us a lot of productivity. It increases the team's efficiency and effectiveness. So I think that's the most important aspect for IT automation.
That sounds really good, guys. Apart from the techie part itself, for me, the experience of the end users. We automate for our teams, we automate for business users, for end users, the end consumers of automation. And for me, that makes it really exciting, especially when you see the delight on their faces whenever they talk to you about how we're able to make things simple and automatic for them. I think that's magic. So it also brings a smile to my face. That really excites me a lot.
Yeah, and I agree with you on all of that. And I think there's one thing to add is that working on automation is usually more exciting than working on the tasks itself. Sometimes, manual tasks. You work on, you think about the problem holistically, you think about it logically, and it's really exciting to do instead of just running the tasks yourself manually.
Sounds great. Well, I want to learn more about how you all got into automation, and so. Briefly, can you just kind of share your first experience with IT automation? What were you trying to do, and what kind of obstacles were you trying to overcome? KK, we'll start with you.
Sure. So I think it was for me, it was about 5+ years ago when I was in my grad school. And that time I was working on an assignment from my professor for the Hadoop cluster and running some programs on Hadoop. And we needed to do that on AWS. And for me, being a student, I did not have kind of a luxury to spend a lot of money on AWS resources. So I decided to create the Hadoop cluster and tear it down when I'm done. But that was very time consuming. So I was like, I need to automate this. And I was recently acquainted with Ansible and similar tools, which Ansible seemed very easy to use. So I started with that. And it was indeed very pleasant experience using Ansible. I was able to learn it fairly quickly. on how to create the Hadoop clusters on AWS using Ansible. And I was able to save a lot of money for me and a lot of time using Ansible. And I was the only person in my peers who was actually doing something like this. So it was also fascinating to show it off. So that was my first experience with IT automation. And from there, I don't think I ever stopped.
Yeah, sounds really awesome, KK. For me, I'll go back like further back in time. Technically, it was about 15 years ago when I started in IT as a sysad, and it was in the cold rooms at the data center during my night shift. And it's a quiet night. You don't do a lot of things. There's no outages, so you make the most of your time by writing some shell scripts for the mundane tasks that you do repetitively. And so yeah, and I even created like a simple terminal user interface so that all the scripts that we have is just in one place, so my teammates can use the scripts or automation easily. And that was way back then. And now Ansible, it's just way too simple nowadays, and way more different and way more accessible. Just like what you said, KK. I'm sure that's the same thing for Ricardo, is it?
Yeah, that's right. And I go even further back in time. I started 1997, my first job, and I had to automate deploying servers for training. So that was a weekly thing. And even at that time, I realized that nobody should be doing that manually, and wrote some scripts to help with that. And then if you fast forward, 20 years into the future, then that was my first time with Ansible. And in comparison, it really felt like magic, right? And it was so much easier. You didn't have to worry about any of the low-level things of shell scripts. Ansible would take care of that for you, so you could really focus on the automation ahead.
That's a pretty cool experience. When I first encountered a pretty cool tool used for automation, it was back in 2012. It was called Puppet. And after I told my colleagues, two of our developers turned it in an automation monster that I was not able to control anymore as a simple system administrator. So when I encountered Ansible just a few years ago, it was like magic. It was fast. It was easy. It was simple. It was like keeping it simple and stupid, a tool I was looking for a very long time. And that's awesome.
All right, man, it's great to go back in the time machine. Let's shift gears here just a little bit. One of the most challenging things people have in getting involved with automation is there's all these myths out there, and let's play Mythbusters. I'd love for you all to share a common myth about IT automation, and why is this there's fear of getting involved? Let's address it right up front. Joseph, we'll go with you.
I super love this question, Jason. And one of the common idea and belief I heard, especially during the early stages of an automation journey, is that we will automate ourselves out of our jobs, which we know is false, right? And in fact, it is more common that a role becomes more redundant because it has been outdated, right? And no one is using those technologies anymore. So there's just a lot of things that we can add value with automation. And we should also look at these opportunities to expand our skills and horizons. I bet the other guys would agree as well.
Yeah, definitely. And for me, it's also things that I hear all the time is that automation has to be complex. If you're going to be investing time in automating something, you have to automate a complex task. And I would argue that is actually the opposite. You can start with something simple, because even something simple that you can automate and then execute in hundreds of servers, it still saves you a lot of time. So it's easier for you to get started, and you still collect a lot of benefits.
I totally agree with Ricardo here, because the most common arguments I heard was learning automation is a very complex task. I have to learn new stuff, and actually it's not. And many times your colleagues have already bash scripts to do something, and they could just use them, starting to run them on parallel on multiple systems and grow their automation experience step by step.
Those were some great answers. And I think one of the things that I have seen apart from these is that some people say this is a task that I only need to do only one time. I don't need to automate it. And this is a myth I have seen so many times in my career at Red Hat. There were times when somebody would say, hey, I know we have some great automation for deploying VMs, but I need to do something out of ordinary for this one time. So can you create this kind of VM for me by hand? And I'd be like, okay. So they'll be like, okay, it's only one-time task, so we don't need to do it again. So we are not going to automate it. I'm sure. And then days go by, weeks go by, and every few days or weeks, they will come back and ask us to add another thing to that VM or do one more thing to that existing setup. And then that setup will be fragile. Nobody would know how it looks like at the 3 months down the road. And if it was to go away, they would not know how to recreate it. Neither we would know how to recreate it. So I think it is important for everybody to realize that when you see a one-time task, it is sometimes not going to be a one-time task, and you need to identify that at the right time by stepping back and looking at it. Oh, it's been a month and I'm still sitting on this VM. I might need to automate this, because if this goes away, I'm wasting my lot of time for me and my team to recreate this thing. So that's a myth, that you don't need to do it again, because in ever-changing requirements of this IT industry, you always need to do some things repetitively to make sure it keeps working, and then you keep adding new features to your product and stuff.
Oh, it sounds great. And I hope the audience is taking lots of notes, because you guys are giving out some golden advice. Let's keep giving them some nuggets. Let's talk some more about the benefits. Just briefly, just give us one of the benefits you've experienced with IT automation. Ricardo, we'll start with you.
For me, it's freeing up your time to work on more important tasks, or sometimes even more exciting things.
And I would like to add, it gives you the ability to do your tasks in a more reliable way.
I think for me, it is being able to have observability on your environment, have control of who's doing what in your infrastructure without losing the sanity of your environment, or losing your sanity because somebody just broke something, they didn't know what they were doing. Automation helps you control who does what.
Yeah, for me, it's the many opportunities that were given to me after I learned Ansible automation. So not only that, it's also the pleasure of working with like-minded people and the experts from their fields, because you learn a lot from them, you collaborate and you innovate with them. So which is really great.
Sounds good. My notebook is overflowing over here, man. This is amazing stuff. So let's continue on these benefits. Let's transition to talk a bit more about careers. And so, understanding your first experience and kind of hearing some of the benefits you've experienced, how has IT automation helped you grow your career? And York, we'll start with you.
In my opinion, knowledge of automation concepts is a must-have for every system administrator or DevOps these days, because all industries around the world looking for how they could automate their workflows, business processes to get them running faster and more reliable. So it's just a must know of the concepts. And when you know the concepts, you don't have to care about the tools so much, because you will learn them easily.
And I think in my experience, how automation helped my career is that, as Joseph mentioned earlier, automation helps you put smile on people's faces, because people see something happening magically and accurately every time. So as I like to call it, auto magic, from taking that term from one of my teammates. With automation, I was able to save so much time and efforts to my team. And in this fast-paced IT world, IT environment, everybody cares about how much time you can save, how much money you can save, how much effort you can save your team. And by saving all that, you're able to highlight how important you are to the team, how much you're helping to contribute team's productivity and increase the efficiency of the team. And when you do that, it definitely makes your peers, managers, bosses happy, and you're bound to get to the next step in your career. And that's exactly what happened to me when I did a lot of automation for our team. It helped me grow in my career, be a team lead, and be a senior engineer for the team. So automation has definitely helped my career grow in the right direction.
Great tip there, KK. Make people happy. And for me, when I make people happy, they send me to Atlanta to Ansible Fest. That's literally good stuff that I gained from automation. And because of the skills I have, I was able to take multiple job positions as well across my previous job and landed me a job at Red Hat. Apart from the skills, it's also the character that we develop and increasing our profile, not just within our organization, but also in the local community by sharing the cool things that we've done with others within our local and probably even international community virtually. It's great.
Yeah, I agree with all of you guys. And automation is also a way of thinking. When you start thinking like that, thinking about things more higher level, holistically, then you also grow, and that helps you advance your career in many ways. And personally, it also opened the door for this opportunity to work at Red Hat, which was a long time dream.
Well, thanks. Well, we can't guarantee we're going to advance your career through IT automation, but you just heard 4 stories of how it influenced and impacted these guys' careers. So take good notes on that. Well, we mentioned earlier that on July 30th of this year for Sysadmin Appreciation Day, Red Hat released a new ebook. It's called A System Administrator's Guide to IT Automation. And it's a collection of stories from just different experiences. And I really, first of all, I want to thank those who contributed. We've got 3 of them here on the panel. So I just want to know, why did you decide to contribute and share your experience in this ebook? And KK, we'll start with you.
So when you reached out to us, Jason, on the mailing list about this book, and you had listed the topics that you had in your mind to outline the book's overall agenda, I was really excited because it not only one but multiple topics that you listed aligned with my experience with over the years at Red Hat and working on IT automation. So it was kind of no-brainer for me to contribute to this book. I was really happy that I have been always contributing back to the community through opensource.com or Red Hat Enable Sysadmin. So sharing is kind of in my DNA. I really enjoy that. And this book was just a great platform to do so. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be able to contribute to that book. Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, sharing is caring, KK, right? And for me, automation renewed my thrill at work and brought me to new heights. It definitely improved my well-being overall, and I want other sysadmins out there to feel the same. That's why I contributed to the ebook. And it's not always smooth sailing, right? There's a lot of things that's happening, but we also want people to learn from our mistakes, from the challenges that we face. And the more we collaborate, the easier it gets for everyone. So it's really great sharing this on the ebook, and thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, same with me. Thanks for the opportunity to share, my knowledge with this ebook, which is an extension of what we're already doing with Enable Sysadmin. And I think that's one of the nice things about open source, right? About collaboration and communities, right? When we share, we all grow. People who read the ebook will now grow because they have that experience that they can use. And even for ourselves, right? It's good to share because you rethink about your ideas and you refine your understanding, and it's good to do that, to put on paper.
Great. Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate the contributions. I want to get a different perspective. You're a reader. Why would you recommend this book to other folks?
Yeah, well, guys, at first I would like to thank you for writing this book, because when I read it, it was like reading a diary of my day-to-day job. You address most of the common arguments I was facing in the past when introducing automation, like, it's too complex to learn. We only do this task once and not twice, and everything like that. And you addressed these arguments in a on point. It's pretty cool, so I would definitely recommend reading it.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Well, we're going to start like we finished. We've got about a minute left, so we're going to do the lightning round of parting advice. So in a few words, what do you want to leave our audience with today? Joseph?
Sweet. So guys, just be open to possibilities, make the most of automation to empower yourselves, and let's make our lives easier. Be open, collaborate, and let's keep on innovating. Most importantly, enjoy it and have fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. And my parting advice is, don't be afraid to get started. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of things to learn, and you can collect a lot of benefits out of it.
Well, Ricardo stole my words here because that's exactly what I was going to say. Don't be afraid of the concepts and the tools. Just start learning. It's a lot of fun and it helps you grow your career.
I think echoing what all of you just said, I think automation is also a stress buster. It helps you enjoy your job and not be worried about how you're going to lose your infrastructure, because automation can redeploy anything that you need if you do it right. So it's a lot of enjoyment, and do use it for your advantage and be stress free. Enjoy your lives with automation.
Well, thank you all for that. Huge round of applause for the panel. And then just to wrap things up here, we talked about the ebook. You can download it here at, here's the short URL, red.ht/sysadmin-ebook. It'll bring you there. There's a short little form there to complete, and then the download will be yours. And it's about just under 50 pages and totally easy to read in one sit down. And lastly, you've heard us talk about Enable Sysadmin. It's your daily dose for sysadmin tips and tricks, tutorials. Please visit us at redhat.com/sysadmin. We're always publishing new stuff, and we're always looking for new contributors. I want to, again, thank the panel for their time today, and enjoy the rest of Ansible Fest, and really appreciate you all for being with us. Thank you.
See you guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.